Hey guys, this is Chetan for Gizmo Times, and this is the iPhone 12 Pro, the Pacific Blue variant. But let's not talk about the variants here. The main thing about this video is about the gaming capabilities of the iPhones. Usually, with every iPhone, you have seen that they do very well. If you haven't watched our iPhone SE 2020 review, you can check that out. And it had the Apple's A13 Bionic chipset, and this one right now has the A14, which is the best chipset from any chipset maker basically, because this is actually better than even the Snapdragon 865 plus currently. These are the CPU and GPU scores, but of course we aren't going to rely on only Antutu benchmark. I'll just give you a quick gaming demo of PUBG Mobile Korean variant, just to let you know once again the PUBG Mobile global variant is banned, and that is why we are going to play only the Korean one. And there are two things to understand here before we start this, that for the Korean variant, the optimization is not the same as what you see on the global one. The global one was widely played and accepted by everyone, so the optimization done on that game was much better. This has some issues, and with time, this could also get better. When the demand from players is going to get better, obviously, the developer would also work to make the app much better. So what you see here is the PUBG Mobile Korean variant. And the second thing, yes, is that since this is just a newly launched smartphone, this would take at least a couple of weeks, and I probably am planning to do a weekly update about the gaming capabilities of the iPhones, because uh, every week you could see some updates, and that would make the experience better. Not the updates on only the smartphone, but also on in the game itself, to make things better. So here are the capabilities. You have the smooth plus extreme, balanced extreme, HD extreme, and HDR extreme. You have the HDR extreme option, that's 60 fps on HDR. You have the ultra HD at ultra frame rate, that's 40 fps. So we right now are going to play on smooth and extreme, which is the most common one. Usually we would also test it out on HDR extreme, but that would be a full gaming review coming out later. Right now we have these settings turned on. So just to let you know, yes, this is, since this is a notch display, we had to change this, and that created a gap over here. So now going into the, yes, settings, you can see that there is still some overlapping of the notch over this area. You can still move it, but for me personally, I have been okay with this. So let's start a quick arena training, and then I'll be able to show you more about it. And yes, the phone does heat up. If you haven't checked out our gaming videos, particularly about this smartphone and any other, you can go check out the Hindi Gaming Josh channel, where we have the full gaming reviews done. And even with this one, we had tested the temperatures, which were going up to 44-45 degrees after only a couple of TDMs. So here you might see some lags and even small frame drops, but as I said, this is the Korean variant, which still needs some optimization. Otherwise, you know that iPhones have always been superior with the gaming performances. So you can see, even though I'm able to fire and do it well, but in the end you can see that there were some lags and frame drops as well.
Killing spree for the blue team. Expired. No mercy. the match is over, and the blue team is in the lead. No mercy!
Blue team victory.
You can see there were some lags, there were some frame drops as well, but that is something you don't really see often on iPhones. That is why I'm saying again that this phone needs some optimization before things get better, and it will surely get better. I'm sure about that because we're talking about iPhones here, which are a gold standard basically for not just gamers but also for streamers. So this could be an initial temporary issue with the gameplay, but later on things might get better as well. So yes, before we end this, let's also do a quick Senok bootcamp, a solo versus squad, to just give you an indication whether it's only with the TDMs or even with the classics that you see that issues. And as I said, this is just the initial gaming demo, and we'll be doing the full gaming review on our Hindi channel as well as here for someone who's interested to learn things about the iPhone's gaming in English as well. So we would be doing that later, but that would take some time. So even right now, if you see, it was just a single TDM that we played, and the temperature has been around 36 degrees. And on the back as well, on the back it's about 37.8, so 38 degrees, and the ambient room temperature is about 28. So it does heat up a bit. And if you have seen, if you check out the video on Gaming Josh, you can see that it was 2 or 3 TDMs and the phone had went up to 44-45 degrees. Again, that is common on iPhones. We often say that the performance has been good, but you'll also have to accept the fact that the phones do get heated a bit. So now just a single bootcamp test we would be landing, and you know that the fate on bootcamp is always the same. You land and die. So that's what is going to happen. This is quite a strong lobby anyway, you can see there. And let's see if there are any lags. And this is not any FPS test right now, so you don't see the frame rate. Here we would be doing that as well in a separate full review. I'm just waiting for things to get better and for things to get optimized actually, so that a proper review can be then done and you can understand about the performance of the iPhones. You can see there are quite a lot of people landing over here, and if you compare this with some of the Androids, even including the OnePlus devices, there would be usually some issue, but right now there's nothing much here. So that's it. This was a quick gaming demo, and also once again showing you the temperatures. It's just around 38 degrees. No, it has actually crossed almost 40 degrees now, if you see here. And this was just around 2 minutes of gameplay on the Sanok bootcamp and then one TDM. So obviously the iPhones, as usual, there's no surprise here. As usual, the phones heat up, iPhones heat up. But what I'm still interested to see is how things change when you try to play PUBG Mobile. Of course, we are talking about the Korean variant here, so things are a bit different. On the global one, the performance would be actually better, but we would be doing the full FPS test so that we see if there are any huge frame drops, and that will take some time. So that's it guys, this was a quick gaming demo of the PUBG Mobile Korean variant on the iPhone 12 Pro. Basically, you can say iPhone 12 Pro or the iPhone 12 Pro Max as well, and the iPhone 12 mini. Everything has the same chipset, that's the A14 Bionic. Batteries would differ, the displays would differ, but the performance shouldn't be different on any of the smartphones. So I hope you like this video. If you do, share and subscribe to Gizmo Times for more. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.